What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Wednesday, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about here on The Big Thing. If you're brand new to the channel, you've never been here before, hit that button, man. We are at 129,000, trying to get to 130 by the end of the month, trying to get to 200 by the end of the year. I think we can do it, and I think you guys can get us there, so hit that button. They talked about Jurassic Park, another one. They talked about scaling it down a little bit, and then they had a couple directors in mind, but now Garreth Edwards seems to be locked in to do just that. Dune 2, I saw it. I'm pretty sure I can give my non-spoiler thoughts on it now. The reviews are in, so I'm going to talk about what... I'm not going to hold back. It's a freaking masterpiece, and we'll talk about that. Angela Basett, she had some meetings about Star Wars. That'd be great if that's true. Speaking of Star Wars, did you guys know Bad Batch was out? We didn't, so we didn't watch it. But, you know, I think eventually we'll. People say it's good, so I think eventually we will watch it. But we'll get your thoughts via comments. But we'll just talk about, you know, the fact that 1 through 3 is already up on Disney+. So that's what we're talking about today. That's a lot of good stuff. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, comment, like, do all that stuff. If you haven't joined Patreon, you should. We're still waiting for, once we get to 600 paid patrons, we're going to get to Mike Kalinowski doing 5 minutes of stand-up. But we're a little bit away from that. So let's get you signed up. Anyway, let's get to the big thing. Me, Steph, and Mike. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the big thing. It is Wednesday. It's myself, Kristian Harloff here. Steph Sabra.
Hello.
Michael Kalinowski.
What's up?
We're back.
Yeah, buddy. Real quick.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Listening to your intro there, I thought the whole stand-up with me was if we hit a certain number by a certain date.
No.
It just goes on indefinitely, so I will have to do it?
Yes,
I didn't agree to that.
you did.
I agreed to a time frame. Like,
No,
I
you
think it was about, like by the first of the year we had to hit that.
Nope.
We're going to go back and check the receipts on that
All
one.
you
We
have
know
to
how
do is
you
be
are.
yourself.
You're
What?
All you have to do is be yourself.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you, you and Roka come from the same cloth.
Oh, here we
Roka
go.
tried to get out of it
Here
back
we
the other
go.
day, but it was great. Someone pointed it out in the comments. So we said that Deadpool. I said, this is hilarious. By the way, if you go back and watch this on the live stream, someone sent me the time codes, and I go, Deadpool will hit $1 billion. And
You think?
And he
You
goes,
think so?
And he goes, and he's like, no way. He's like, I don't even think it'll make 650. And I go, it'll make $1 billion. I say, I'll give you 750. I'll give you an extra 100. I'll give you 750 steak dinner. And then 2 days ago when we were on the air, he's like, no, I said it'll make $1 billion. I said it's definitely gonna make $1 billion. I said, you did not say it's gonna make $1 billion.
I don't think it'll
And
hit
he's
$1
trying
billion.
to get he's trying to get the steak, and he's like, no, the steak dinner was, you said it would make $1 billion. I go, okay. You and Mike Kalinowski are the same dude.
Did
And-
No Way Home make $1 billion?
It made like 1.6.
Okay.
And so they something like that, 1.5, 1.6. So I sent him the footage, and now we're good to go. But I sent him the footage, and he still came up with a bunch of nonsense. But anyway,
you were
yes,
wrong.
Sure. What
That's
is hilarious is right before we started shooting, I said, "Hey guys, have any one of you watched The Bad Batch? Considering this was Sith Council, and we do all the Star Wars shows. So The Bad Batch episodes 1 through 3 dropped last night. I'd gotten sent, I think, 10 episodes or something. I haven't watched one of them. I haven't watched one, and it's not. And I've heard good things. I just have not been, and I went through this last season too. I was like, I'm not excited for this show. And then the show pops up, and I remember second half of that show was awesome. Season 2 was great. Hear great things about this one. I did not watch episode 1 through 3. Steph, did you?
No.
Mike,
No.
did you?
You saw my face this morning.
Right.
I didn't know it was out.
And nobody knew
I
that.
don't know.
That's not to say that, like, I'm in the world of, like, on Twitter and the notifications and everything, and, like, no one hyped this thing up. Star Wars didn't talk about it. There's no commercials, no.
Well, right, the official Star Wars, but like everybody this goes back to, and I don't want to keep harping on it, but like this goes back to the only people I saw tweeting about it was the Everything Is Awesome crew. So like when I saw it, I love that you love it. I love that you love it. I'm so glad you do, but I could have predicted that tweet. So I wanted to see people who I didn't know.
Just the people in, like, the general film Twitter.
Yeah,
like,
because you know
are they
people,
talking about
Yeah,
it?
because people who
A new trailer drops.
wanted to love it.
I wake up in the morning, my feed is full of it.
Yeah.
No matter what,
Right.
when that Roadhouse trailer, again, that's not a big high profile movie, but my feed was littered with people like, oh, they're cool. Oh yeah, should have this. There was no talk this morning outside of the people who have podcasts based on Star Wars solely, like that.
Pumping it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
I don't think anyone who's not a mega diehard Star Wars fan watches Bad Batch.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think that
And
that is
that's
also,
not meant to be like shady or anything.
No,
That's
this
just
is
really matter of fact.
You're 100% right. It's made for, and it's okay to be some shows be made for super Star Wars fans. That's what this show is, and I think what it is. I was having this conversation with PLD yesterday. I think it's like I've said many times over, when you come to like a sports team, and you're just a fan of the sports team, and then there's a period of the time when you're just like, yeah, just not into the team as much as I used to be. Mm-hmm. They can win me back with a couple good seasons with some new players and stuff too, but right now and we'll talk about it. If someone said to me, okay, I'm going to give you the Dune world for the next 10 years or Star Wars, no question, Dune all day long. Like, it is just way better than Star Wars is right now. And it's like, it takes itself real serious, and it's got good writing, great music. I mean, it's
but
got
that's
everything.
that you can't compare the two.
I'm talking about right now as far as science fiction fans.
Dune
That's
is
the kind of
one
science
movie
fiction
with
fantasy.
one
2
person,
movies.
but one person.
Doing
You
it.
even said it's like it's 1 6-hour movie.
I'm not comparing the two as far as overall. I'm telling you my personal preference at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
At the moment, because and like I said, I don't get as excited for Star Wars now because Andor was the last thing, and I'll be excited for season 2 of Andor. That was the last thing that I was just like, I feel like the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka was like, okay, where are we going? And then the writing was just so bad. I was like, this is just not great. But I'm glad that other people love it. That's the other thing. When people, that's the thing. That's the thing that I don't like when people do when they go, well, I don't like something, so you like it, then you.
Yeah,
you're
or
not
like,
a Star
I
Wars
can't
fan. Stupid.
believe you like it.
Right.
Those kind of comments, it's
so
like, what do
stupid.
you mean you can't believe
No,
you like it?
it's great.
Are we just a monolith of people that like the same things?
That's exactly right. And I had said the things for everybody who like really digs at everything too. And I tell you, I'm gonna watch Bad Batch, and I'll probably wind up digging a lot of it too. I'm just not as excited as I used to be. When the first season came out, I'm like, Steph, did you watch it yet? This same thing. Like, people was like, when are you gonna see the Acolyte trailer? I'm like, when we do. When we do. It's a bummer, I know, but like, it's just and I say that with, I don't subscribe to this notion of, well, Star Wars is dead. It's like, no, it's not. It's just I'm just disappointed by it right now. It could easily. There's a lot of years left.
And a lot of projects coming up.
Yeah. So and like, you can win me back like that. But right now, I'm just not excited for it.
And there's so many good shows and movies coming out right now that it's kind of hard for it to be on the forefront when we're just so excited about these other properties dropping.
So I know you're not a fan of it, but like House of the Dragon. Someone says to me, okay, you can only have one this year, Acolyte or House of the Dragon? House of the Dragon season 2. Right away.
Yeah, because they're dunking.
Because I know it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be. It's a follow up to what I'm already invested.
I'm already
invested. Now, Acolyte is still a very highly anticipated series for me because I want to see that time period. I'm so tired. I think that's another reason with Bad Batch. I'm so tired of this time period.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of it. It's like, let's go away from this, especially in the animated thing. It's like, okay, I get it. The clones. I get it. Let's get away from that. And so I am now really looking forward to some other stuff. Like I'm looking forward to the Fallout series, that game. I've never played the game, but I hear great things about it. I'm really looking forward to that series. I'm going to tune into Last Airbender on Thursday. It's like newer, familiar IP and see what people are going to do with it. I'm excited for it. But am I nuts to feel this way, Steph? Are you as excited for Star Wars these days?
No, I feel the same way where my heart is still with Star Wars.
Love it.
Yeah, but I feel like there's other stuff coming out where I'm like, you guys don't have the weight of the Disney IP dragging you down right now in a way that I feel, I don't know, maybe it's just getting older too, where I'm like, I want you guys to take bigger swings and be a little darker or not afraid
That's where my Dune stuff comes in. Like, you're going to lose your mind. When you see this movie, you're going to lose your mind. Mike, you've been disappointed with Star Wars since we started the show 3 years ago. Shut your mouth.
No, man. Maybe it's Steph. I was thinking it before you just said it. Now, maybe we get older. And
well, we do get older. That's a fact.
Yeah, but maybe our tastes don't like perfect example, because I have to use it because of how I'm known on the internet with DC. I never saw that My Adventures with Superman. I saw one episode of it. I'm like, this ain't for me.
Yeah, right.
Not for you.
This animated, this anime-ish ain't for me.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't love DC. Doesn't mean I'm not going to watch everything they. Well, I don't say that because they over the holidays they did this My Little Superman, My Merry Batman. It was like an animated Christmas Batman movie. Me, Batman Christmas, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't love DC and Batman.
Right. That one just didn't tune in. Well, but the difference is that DC has a couple more things on the animated side that is hitting for you and that does work for you. Right.
Sure.
So Star Wars just got to get back on that track. I hope I'm rooting for the Favreau movie. I'm rooting for all the movies.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that when Acolyte comes out, I say to you guys, boy, was I wrong. Man, I should have been really looking forward to this one the best. This is my favorite thing that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I hope.
Well, let me ask you this then. Because I think for me, I found with Star Wars now, they have a way that they do things now. And it kind of like Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, all felt the same and or felt different because they shot it in England.
On location.
On location. So for me, going forward with the Star Wars stuff, anything that I know is shooting here in LA with the volume, all that stuff here, I'm not good because I've seen it.
Hesitant.
Yeah. So Acolyte is in England, right?
Yeah, but they're shooting on set.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I like my Star Wars to feel like perfect example. Robert Rodriguez, his episode of Mando.
Yeah. And he's
Shooting up in the mountains up in Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, it looks so low budget. I was like, it looked like the first Star Wars movie.
100% like the first
I
Star
love
Wars.
that.
I
And
love
that's
that
why
episode.
for me, with my Star Wars going forward, it's more going to be what it looks like.
Yeah.
And because I can't.
Well, but it's the writing too, man. I think that, and I am going to get. You're both 100% right when it comes to as you get older. You expect a little bit more in the quality of it too. And to be fair to them, they made it very clear that Star Wars is for kids.
Sure.
Right. And that's fine. It was. I mean, look, that's when we fell in love with it. Right.
Right.
We were kids.
Sure.
So if that's the case, then I definitely get it. What I'm hoping that happens though is because, and I think I talked about this on our Q&A for the Patreon yesterday, is that I don't necessarily love Rebel Moon. I don't hate it as much as everybody else did. I don't think it's good.
I liked it.
But I enjoyed watching it. Because it was an original science fiction fantasy IP, right? Based off of Star Wars stuff or whatever. And it's another reason why I like the creator, even that's more science fiction still. And that's why I love Dune so much. I want to see more swings inside of like the kind of like more serious tone science fiction fantasy. I want to see the rated R version of Rebel Moon. I want to see more of those things, and I just think that maybe you balance it out to where if Star Wars is going in that particular direction, because like if you watch the writing in Ahsoka, like again, or Obi-Wan, the writing it's bad. It's just bad writing. And then you compare it to Andor writing, you compare it to Dune writing, and it's like more of that, please, all day long.
Yeah.
Like, when are you going to see Dune?
When it,
On Friday, March 1st.
yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot here right now because this conversation that the two of you have going on right here, very similar to 2 years ago with Top Gun.
Sure.
You can only watch Top Gun or Dune. This one again. What do you pick? Because you both were like, Mike, you're going to cream your pants.
Sure.
Steph, best thing ever.
My brother brought this up to me.
Maverick?
Yeah, Maverick. I'm sorry.
My brother brought this up.
So I'm seeing very similar vibes.
I know.
2 years ago.
My brother brought this up to
So
me.
which one do you
yesterday.
watch?
It's a different vibe.
It doesn't matter.
Nope. I understand
I'm
what you're saying.
God, and I said you can watch one.
We'll
Okay.
answer. I'm just telling you, it's a completely
It is a different. That's
different vibe.
That's the answer that I gave to my brother. I said to him, I go, they're just so different. Their movies are so different. It's like what Top Gun Maverick did so well. It's like it's just like this. It's what movies used to be with budgets of today, but it just was just a full, pure blockbuster popcorn movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Dune 2 and Dune 1 together are just this kind of like dense, in-depth, smart, character-driven science fiction, right? And it's like darker in tone in general. And like I said in my thing, it's Game of Thrones meets Star Wars. And it's recency bias. I just saw Dune. You're like, okay, you can only watch one of them again right now.
All right, I'll ask you a year from now. I'll come back to this.
It's
a year from now.
And that's tough because because I like the way I feel after I watch Top Gun Maverick every time. You're like, you're happy.
Right.
Dune, you're just like, whoa. I don't know. Like,
now,
I don't know if I can like that. The wave of emotion that I felt for both of them in different ways, but the wave of emotion I've Dune. I was telling Steph, I sat there and I looked at the screen afterwards, and I went, and I didn't even realize, and I went, wow, like that. I was just like, I was blown away by that movie. It's one of my favorite movies.
Two questions.
Damn.
Then. 2 questions. Then isn't this? You said it's 1 6-hour movie, but isn't there a Dune 3 coming out?
So the rumors, not rumors, because Denis Villeneuve has talked about it. So the rumors are that, and again, I keep saying rumors, but Denis Villeneuve was talked about Dune Legacy, which is the next one, and it's getting closer and closer that he's probably gonna do it. So it's like and it was a continuation. Dune 1 and 2, the movies are just the one book.
It's one book.
It's one book split into 2.
Okay.
Dune Legacy is completely different, and they're doing a Dune television series, but it's about the witches, or from I think it's like 1,000 years beforehand on Max.
And now, are you okay with this? With
the book or with Legacy?
With them mining it to be more than just a one book?
Yeah,
there?
It's Frank Herbert's book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, and if Denis Villeneuve, I want Denis to do it. Like if they give it to somebody else, this guy just gets this world, man. Yeah. Like the music, it's
Hans again, right?
Yeah.
Hans?
Yeah.
Second question, follow-up. How much money do you think it makes?
I'm starting to change my tune a little bit.
Because you didn't think $1 billion.
I still don't think it makes
Okay.
It's not a 4-quadrant.
It's in a 3-hour movie. It's not making $1 billion. But it's going to make significantly more than the first one.
Of course.
Because people are super hyped for this one.
Of course.
I think it crosses 5 to 6 worldwide.
I think 6 is generous.
I think 5.
And I'm not saying that negatively.
No.
I'm not saying that negatively at all.
No, you're not. It's not. It's a recognizable property in the first one because of the
cast
and people really checking it out and seeing it on Max and building up. That's where it started to really gain traction. It's funny because I called after I was done with the screening. I called Mark Riley, right? Told him about it. I was losing my mind, and then I called my second call was to Matt Serra. And
that's funny.
He's a major Dune fan.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, he's a major Dune fan. So he was on vacation. And so I call him and he picks me up and he goes, and he picks up, he goes, "Are you calling me about Dune?" He goes, "Did you see Dune yet?" And I go, "I just saw it." He goes, "Talk to me." It was amazing.
That's hysterical.
It's amazing. So he was excited to talk about it.
That's so great when you have a movie that's so good that you have to call the homies up.
I was like, I couldn't, I was pretty confident. You don't pick up your phone anyway, so I wasn't going to call you. But I was pretty. You don't. You're better with me than most people.
Yeah,
but
I feel like I do answer.
You text.
Yeah,
you text a little bit, but you text. Because if you remember, we had this whole text thread going, and Brett's like, "Why is it that Steph and Roxy are constantly on their phones, but they never text back?"
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
It's hilarious. But listen, as we're talking about Dune here. And now I think reviews are kind of up. This movie, guys, it really is. It's a masterpiece. It's a full-on masterpiece. It's everything you want it to be. For people, and you're going to see the comments because I saw the comments, and Mike mentioned it to me too. It's like, well, I was bored. The first one was boring. It's to me, it's this really, because I was walking out of the theater and I saw a couple people and like, "What'd you think?" And I was just blown away. And they said to me, like, "Well, I like this one better than the first one." I said, it's too hard for me to say that because this movie elevates the first one substantially because it is clearly one movie. It's one movie. So it's hard because the first movie is not a full movie. It's part one. It's a great part one. It's a great first half. But this is the whole movie. So the answer is the whole damn thing is spectacular. Yeah. That's the answer. It's not, is it better than the first one? Watch it with the second one. It elevates.
But I remember when after the first one dropped and came out, there was this period of like, we don't know if we're making the second one. And because it only made
that was very brief.
But it was like, it was never like a sure thing. They were like, we hope to.
That was before it came out. Before it came out, because of the explosion of people talking about it, and what they were going to do was just dump it on Max, and then they had a fight. The old regime, they fought it out, got it into the theaters, and they knew that it was pandemic still. So there was still
sure,
but once they got the kind of traction it did and the kind of reviews it did, it wasn't very long before they announced part 2.
Well, because in the movie, obviously this isn't law, but when it ends, it says Dune 2 coming. It's the end credit.
Yeah.
So that rarely happens except for like Across the Spider-Verse.
Right.
I've never seen it happen where it doesn't happen.
No. I hope, to answer your previous question, I really hope that this movie makes $1 billion. It deserves to. This movie, to me, deserves to be as big as Avatar. It needs to be. It won't be, but it needs to be, and it should be.
So why is that?
Why is it that it won't do that? Because not everybody has.
But let me use, like, you see this cast.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a bad person in this cast.
Right.
Avatar, you got Sam Worthington.
So what? He's not bad.
He's not bad.
Yeah.
He's not the people in the cast of Dune.
Because Cameron's a magician. But besides
Cameron has bigger star power than Denis.
Yeah, but it's besides that. It's besides that.
I'm saying
Avatar lends itself more to the families coming out and seeing it,
Okay,
like popcorn blockbuster. This is a blockbuster movie, but there are going to be people that, because the first half of it, because I saw somebody going, well, I didn't like the stuff they did with the Fremen. You shouldn't see the second one because the second one is 75% of it is Fremen, right?
Fremen?
You'll
see. It's where they end the first movie.
Yeah, okay. But so that part of it, and they get into the politics of it. They get into, like, there are some moments where they're just a prophecy and how people, like, idolization and all these different themes that Frank Herbert covered in the book and the way that they bring it on screen. And they get there, and then they have, and very similar to Godzilla -1, where Godzilla -1 would get you, prep into the characters, and boom, big action scene, same thing. And like this, I want to go see it again. I want to go see it. Like I almost stayed because there was a second screening a couple hours later, and I was like, I wonder if I can stay for the second one.
Stay for it.
And I was like, I can't.
Damn.
I just can't.
Yeah, my dad, it's funny because I just rewatched the first one. It's better than I remember. But when it came out, I don't like rewatching movies that much. I watched that movie like 4 times. Part of it was watching it with family members. Sure. But I loved it. And then
Did your dad love it?
Rewatched it the same weekend my dad did. We didn't know he did it. And he's like, I really loved it. He's like, it is dense.
It's dense.
It's slow,
Super.
but it's worth it.
Yes.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do I need to watch the first one to see the second one?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my.
Well, but that's a good question because people will say that, and it's like that's my point.
They will though because
this isn't a second movie. It's the second
part
half.
2.
It's the second half of the first movie. That's it.
I mean, here's the thing. I'll be honest about this. It is the first movie on my HBO Max watch list, and it's been there forever, and I just haven't.
How good is your TV, by the way?
Great TV.
You have a good TV.
I got one of those 4K.
Okay. All right, don't brag. Yeah.
I think because part of me was like, well, I know 2's coming out. I'll watch it right before I see 2.
That's cool.
That's a good idea.
It's been sitting there.
That's a good
for
idea.
2 years.
That's a good idea for sure.
Get your tickets now.
You really should.
Because you should see it in IMAX.
Definitely
I'll
see
it
in
IMAX.
IMAX.
I don't need to run out the opening weekend. I don't need that.
Okay.
I'm too old for that.
You might
Isn't
change
it
your
only
tune.
in
No, I'll
IMAX
see
like
it.
2 weeks?
I'll see it, but I'm not going opening weekend anymore.
Doesn't IMAX only work in like 2-week rotations?
I think sometimes.
But I don't think there's anything
coming.
I
Because every time I do that, I miss it.
That's not true. Kong vs. Godzilla, Kong and Godzilla, which is another Warner Brothers movie.
Oh yeah.
When's that coming though?
The end of March.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Another one of those things.
End of March. Now that's the type of stuff. That's what I'm curious about too, because Warner Brothers has to go against itself and the people. Why they do that? Well, Dune was supposed to come out in November.
Yeah,
right.
The smart
That's
push.
why.
What a smart to hold.
Well,
that.
they had to. But the only thing though, the only reason why I was like a bummer that it didn't make the November hit is because it would have been in the conversation.
You think so?
Oh yeah. It would have been in the conversation.
You think
there
so?
are performances that should be considered for acting roles. The cinematography, the score, the directing. This movie should be. Now the problem is because it's out in March, is that going to hinder it?
Sure it will.
You look at Air, which came out in April, and that got buried.
Did Mad Max Fury Road come out in March? May.
Yeah, came out in May.
It's gonna get. It won't.
Because I feel like that's similar in terms of cinematography and.
Yeah. I know. So anyway, I
Who was the cinematographer on this?
It's not Deakins. I thought it was Deakins because Deakins has done his other movies.
You ever see interviews with him?
Deakins?
I love watching him talk.
Who, Denis or Deakins?
No,
Deakins?
Deakins.
Let's see. I'm going to do the cinematographer.
He is so
Dune 2.
down to earth.
Greg Fraser. Who?
Did he do Batman? I think he did the Batman.
Did he? Okay, let's see.
Check that for me.
Oh, that's cool.
I think he did the Batman.
Okay, so he's great. He's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, he did the Batman.
Yeah, I knew it. Now that movie, you want to talk about not being nominated for cinematography? That was some BS.
Yeah.
BS, that movie.
Anyway, so guys, We talked about Star Wars. We talked about Dune. Are you excited for them? And do you listen? Like I said in any one of our episodes, when we say things you don't agree, if you're still excited about stuff, please have the conversation with. Obviously, have it in a way that we want to have the conversation with you. Don't insult people. But if you want to have a conversation about it, are you still excited about Star Wars? Are you on the same page with us? And as far as Dune goes, where'd you feel about the first one? How excited are you for the second one? Comment, please. Tell me what you think. All right, before we move on, I also want to tell you guys about two of our absolutely wonderful sponsors that we have been privileged, just absolutely privileged to have on the show, and that is both Fume and Nutrafol. Let me tell you about both of them right now.
Let's talk about some habits, because you guys know you got some habits, and there's nothing better than beating a bad habit with a good habit. And we've talked about Fume before. You guys know we've talked about Fume. We've had Fume on, and we're glad that they are back. It's great. And Mark Riley is the one who's really been talking this thing up, and I can't wait for him to talk about it even more so on the show when he's on for UAP. And he's just talking about how flavorful it was, better than he thought. It feels very fresh, and it's like refreshing herbal tea, but if it was vapor. It was. You can look at like sticky soda. It's got It's really good. It's well weighted. It's perfectly balanced. It's extremely fun to fidget with, and it really look at the wood itself. It's great. You can start the year off right with the good habit by going to tryfume.com/bigthing and getting the journey pack today. Fume is giving listeners to the show 10% off when they use that code BIGTHING to help make starting the good habit much easier, because you get it. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit that you're free to enjoy, and it makes replacing your bad habit easy. It comes with adjustable airflow dial, and it's designed with movable parts. It's great. They use flavored air instead of vapor. Fume is completely natural, by the way, instead of electronics. And this is the reason why I decided. People are like, well, why would you get involved with something like this? Why? Because they don't use harmful chemicals. They use delicious flavors, and that's why I got involved. Fume works. They're great. So thank you again to Fume for sponsoring the show.
Let me tell you guys about Nutrafol. I'm going to tell you guys about Nutrafol. I'm very excited to tell you about Nutrafol. I've told you about Nutrafol many times over, and I've gotten people, and Nutrafol even said, like, we're back because the audience is listening, and they're checking it out, and it's working. Because if you didn't know, did you know that 80% of men are going to experience hair thinning in their lifetime? Because it's normal. It doesn't have to be your fate. You can get ahead of it with Nutrafol. What is it? Well, it's a clinically tested hair growth supplement for men. A lot of times you blame genetics, but there are multiple things at play when it comes to hair thinning. So what is Nutrafol? It is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding. You can take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. And for a limited time, Nutrafol is going to offer our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping. When you go to Nutrafol.com/men, you got to enter that promo code BIGTHING. You can find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and hairstylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com/men, Nutrafol.com/men. You got to enter that code BIGTHING. Nutrafol.com/men, promo code BIGTHING. Very excited to have them on board. All right, thank you to our friends over at both Fume and Nutrafol. Really excited to have them on board. And as I tell you guys each and every week, each and every episode, if you are able to and you want to support the show, please check out one of our wonderful sponsors. All right, moving on, because we got a lot of other stories here. I want to talk about this Jurassic Park story. New Jurassic World movie enlists Rogue One director Garreth Edwards. This coming from Comic Book Movie. Mark Cassidy, Universal Pictures had to scramble to find a new director for its upcoming Jurassic World movie after the recent departure of David Leitch, and the studio has now enlisted a filmmaker who has quite a bit of experience on creature features. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and the creator-director Garreth Edwards is in final negotiations to helm the film. As previously reported, David Koepp, who penned the original 93 Jurassic Park and its sequel, Jurassic Park 2, is working on the script. Edwards' first film was the acclaimed Monsters, and he went to launch Legendary's Monsterverse with 2014's Godzilla. Despite word only reaching us very recently, the project is already set to be deep in development. The studio might be even considering a 2025 release date. Plot details are still under wraps, but the movie will reportedly launch a new Jurassic era with an all-new storyline, which would seem to indicate that Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, along with the original crew, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, will not be returning. Frank Marshall, the veteran producer who oversaw the Jurassic World trilogy, is back on board, as is another Jurassic vet, Patrick Crowley. Spielberg is going to executive produce. Leach was in talks to direct in February before parting ways with the film just a day later. Apparently, it became clear to Leach that his creative input would be minimal due to the project's fast-tracking status and how the producers wanted to wield a stronger hand after experiences of Dominion. Colin Trevorrow is not involved, but he did share his ideas for a potential follow-up. He said the previous 5 films are plots about dinosaurs. This one is a story about characters in a world in which they coexist with dinosaurs. For the franchise to be able to move forward, because it's inherently unfranchisable, there probably should have been only one Jurassic Park. But if we're going to do it, how can I allow them to tell stories in a world in which dinosaurs exist, as opposed to here's another reason why we're going to an island? All right. So let me start with you, Steph. Garreth Edwards did you see The Creator?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
I really liked it a lot.
I really loved it.
I liked that he used $70 million to make it look like it was $300 million.
Right.
This, to me, is what they should do with Jurassic Park. They won't.
Yes.
They're going to give it a $200 million budget, and they're going to overdo it again.
And they're going to use the Force.
$120 million with a... I love the idea of not bringing any of this expensive cast back. Bring in brand new people.
Yes.
Let people cut their teeth on it. Put Glenn Powell in there, right? Glenn Powell is somebody who's... I mean, well, I guess he's doing Twisters now, too, but he's up and coming and probably doesn't cost that much yet.
Yeah.
But somebody like that.
Right.
And
I just watched that rom-com with him.
Any good?
It was really good.
His price just jumped with that one.
It was.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
hit like it's insane how much money it's making. He's out of the range of a lot of low budget now.
Right, low budget.
I
but
was
not Jurassic
shocked
World.
how actually funny and cute it
Okay.
was.
All right. Well, I'm gonna check that out. But so overall, and Garreth Edwards, is a guy that can get this done.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on all of this?
I think this is great. I really like that Garreth Edwards came back swinging with The Creator. I know that it didn't hit a lot for the critics, but I was reading the reviews, and a lot of people's issues were in the editing, which I found interesting, and not a bad point necessarily. So not really in the directing, but I'm excited about it. The last Jurassic Park was one of my least favorite movies ever that I've watched.
Yeah. The last one was one of your least favorites?
Yes.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was
terrible.
painful.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It just wasn't for me. And so I think this is a great direction. I just watched the original, and I feel like if you can get that magic and how good that was, that would be awesome.
Well, I'd like to see them go do something like, imagine The Creator vibe, right? But Jurassic Park, because
Sick.
we're to the point right now. It's a franchise. You don't have to sell it. We talk about this all the time with like who you need star-wise to get in there. The dinosaurs sell the movie.
Right. That hit $1 billion.
Yeah, it came close. Did it hit it?
I think it hit. It's one of the
all those movies make $1 billion, but they're just not good. The last few of them. The last few of them have just been bad. So if you take this down and take it to put it like, a $120 million movie, really develop it, give it a good story. And I haven't seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes yet, but like the way that the Planet of the Apes movies are, like they're in depth.
They're so good.
They're so good. Like, why can't they do a story inside of this world where the dinosaurs are running around? That's the world. That's what somehow nature found its way or whatever. And now the dinosaurs have to coexist with the humans and give us a full structure. Don't just give us the big popcorn in the face, dinosaurs, yay. It's like no more of that. It's like, let's get an actual like story here. Mike, you don't care.
I literally have 3 jobs that depend on Jurassic World and the popularity of it. Why? Why are we just milking here's the tit.
Steph just said
Here's
it.
the Jurassic Park tit.
Steph just said it. It made $1 billion last week.
I get it, man.
Universal has
But
nothing.
we talk about these actors that are out there going, there's no creativity in Hollywood anymore. Executives are scared to do creative stuff and come up with new things. Like, you know what I'm going to tell you what this movie's going to be right now? First of all, I hate the fact that they have set this date. It's already developed, and they're just trying to find a guy to fill the
Trying to make
slot
money.
to direct it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be, they have trained these dinosaurs to work as military, like they drop them in, they clear out the
I hope
area
not.
and terrace, and it's going to be, they went wild, they went off the reservation, they've got to send this crack SWAT team in, this military group to go in,
I hope not.
Black Ops to take them out in Saudi Arabia or something. I guarantee it. I guarantee fucking to you.
All right,
Watch this.
That is the kind of direction of what the past movies have been leading to, right?
Exactly. I'm telling you.
So you're not wrong.
Some big private military corporation, like he's going for Congress. Hey, let's stop killing soldiers. Let's stop bringing veterans home in body bags. We're gonna have the dinosaurs do it.
That seems to be where they were going with it. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna be on your page if they go that route. But I have this hope, and I'm gonna say this until I'm blue in the face. I have this hope because these $300 million budgets have not been working.
Right.
That they're gonna basically. I've always had this idea of like Terminator, right? Like Terminator. The new one. If they do a new one, doing it like A24 style. Like, because the first movie was a horror film. The first Terminator was a horror film.
Yeah.
And doing it for like, $70, $80 million, doing this type of budget they did for the creator for a Terminator film, like doing that. And I want to like see them implement that to the big franchises, because the reason you put into those big franchises, like I said, there are certain franchises that the franchise sells the movie, right? And if you scale it down, you can make more money, but they're throwing the
What I don't
dart. Wait a
understand
second. They're throwing the dart. They're throwing the dart at the $1 billion prize.
Right.
And it's like, stop aiming for that. Just aim to make a good movie and make money off of that.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about execs and not, you're saying see the money. Like I would like look at Prey.
Yeah, great
People
movie.
say that's the second best Predator movie. And I'll bet it costs less than the first Predator to make.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. Just because of inflation and stuff.
And take inflation out of the way.
Right.
Terminator. If you made a Terminator trying to mimic, you get a director that loves the first Terminator.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee it was a Trachtenberg that did Prey. I guarantee he loved
Right.
McTiernan's Predator.
Well, right.
I'll bet he loved it and go,
Right.
I am going to make in the style that they did.
Sure.
You get a guy that wants to come in and do a new action movie and says, I want to make another Die Hard. But give me $50 million to do it. I mean, look at the first John Wick.
Right. Right.
Stop
I know.
giving $400 million because I guarantee there are directors out there that want a lower budget. Just give me this amount of money. Give me one name star.
Right. I think
And I can do this for you and we'll nail it.
I think it's like you're in this position if you're a director, and you say, well, what's my budget? And they go, you got $100 million. It's like, can I have 150? I have 200? All right. It's like that happens all the time. But I think that the studios need to go, no, that's what you got.
But if you watch back in the day, what I love, and they don't really do it anymore, is the behind the scenes stuff on DVDs and Blu-rays. And they always say it's like, was it necessity is the mother of all invention? Because if you don't have the money, you have to find ways to do it.
Yeah.
Like The Thing, the original Thing.
Yeah, right.
Like they didn't have shit money, but they just had to, we had to make it work. I had to put some smoke to cover up this wire that was pulling a body out.
Well, because it does.
Now it's like, we'll stick them in the volume and we can make whatever we want. And it looks like shit.
It makes the creativity start to
Yes.
flow, right? I mean, look at
your creativity.
But look at Andor, right? Andor is one of those movies, one of those shows that it had a bigger budget than like Obi-Wan, which is crazy. But still, they gave it because of Tony Gilroy. But you said, all right, here's your budget, here's your locations, here's what you got to do. You have 8 months to do it. Go do it. Great, and you got a detailed actual story. The problem is that they get lazy with going, okay, well, we know, like you said, the volume, the special effects. We know how to put this in there. It's formula. It's worked before, but the good news is that it's not working now. The good news for us is that it's not working now. Is that
But are they going to realize that, or are they just going to keep pumping forward?
Well, if you listen to what the studio executives are saying, it seems like they've said, like, you look at Iger is trying to pull back on stuff, and because there's only so many times you can do an Indiana Jones movie for $320 million, and then you get that kind of return. I mean, look, the one that I actually, even though I used Indiana Jones, I think the one that should be used as the example is the last Fast and Furious movie. That movie,
I didn't see it.
The movie made like $700 million. Pretty good, right?
They make money, man.
It cost $380 million to make. It didn't make a profit. It didn't make a profit.
How do those movies make that much
That's what
money
I'm saying.
still?
When you're making over $500 million, Black Adam made like $480 million. It didn't make a profit. That's nuts. You got to stop doing that. You just aim, because they're $1 billion. Got to make $1 billion. Got to hit that $1 billion prize. If you hit $1 billion, good for you. Avatar, I'll give Avatar a $200 million budget. You know it's going to make its return.
Right.
It's
proven.
It's
and it's the same people involved.
Yeah, yes, and what did that guy do? That freaking mad genius. He started shooting part 3 while he was shooting 2.
Yeah.
And so he's already
created tech to shoot it.
Yeah, he's already got stuff done for the next movie. So it's like, it's crazy how they use these particular budgets. So I'm really hoping that with Garreth Edwards, what they do is that they know that he can work on a scaled budget. And look, we've given Garreth Edwards, myself included, some shit. You know, I'm like, and some shit meaning that he didn't direct that thing fully. Rogue One, clearly he didn't, because he wasn't working for years. Now he's all over the place. He's back. He was rumored for some Marvel stuff. He was rumored, and he just did Creator, because I think the Creator, even though it didn't do great in the box office, it showed what he can do.
Right.
Yeah.
It showed, like, you made that for $70 million.
I think it goes back.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
crazy.
Yeah.
It kind of goes to this thing now with Madam Web, and someone posted the writer and go, look at his turds he did. 6 movies. It was like Morbius, another one, but all the writers are coming to his defense going, hey, he wrote the script.
Yeah.
What happened 2 years after it came out is not him. He got 6 movies made in less than 10 years.
The screenwriter?
The screenwriter.
Right. Morbius?
But
And he just did Madam Web.
But it's his script that, you know, the original script,
Yeah.
what it was compared to what happened.
Sure, right.
Because look at I guess the bad guy, every line is 80 yard.
the whole movie is
So they
a
just
disaster.
changed what his script is.
Who knows how many people came on board, but because of
Yeah.
WGA rules and he was credited, he gets the credit.
I know it's a little.
How many
different.
other writers come in and touch that?
It's harder for me though, because that the writers on Morbius and Madam Web have been involved with a lot. Their greatest claim to fame is the first draft of the Power Rangers script or something.
That's the same guy. Yeah, he did Power Rangers.
Yeah,
But
so
you don't know.
Every one of his scripts got farted on. I mean, you go to his resume, dude. It's not.
But then
grand.
why does he keep getting hired?
Because, and this is we talked about this.
If it
the
was
other day.
all like that, you wrote Power Rangers, get out of
So
here.
no, because talking to someone who saw this happen, when I worked at Silver Pictures at Warner Brothers, what they do is, if I have a good relationship with you and you're a screenwriter, and I say, okay, I need a screenwriter to do some touch ups on a script, and I got to get this thing done. I got Steph and I got Mike I can call. Well, Steph wrote the Academy Award winning thing. She wrote this. She wrote this. Yeah, but she's expensive. She has a lot of feedback. She doesn't really play ball as much. She likes to do her thing. It's always like a fight. It's going to take a while before it's done. What about Mike? His credits aren't great. Yeah, but Mike works real fast. Mike listens to the notes that we want. Mike get it done, and he's cheap. All right, well, let's just get Mike. I saw that happen a million
I get it.
times.
But then look at Garreth Edwards. So taking off Rogue One, creator doesn't do well, but he gets Jurassic Park because they know what he can do, and they know
he absolutely
the
got hired
failures of
because of
those
that.
things were not his fault.
I agree with that 100%. I think that, but I think that the Morbius writer in him is a different. But your point is taken. I agree because I think that he is in that position because he also, the other thing that he did very well with Rogue One, he played ball. Never spoke about it.
Oh, yeah.
Never talked.
Still
about
hasn't.
it. Barely. He just kind of gives things. Never spoke about it.
Yeah.
Played ball. You never hear anybody say a bad word about him. He never says a bad word about anybody else. He just played ball and he took his time and then he got another gig and now he's back in the spotlight again. So he's a very smart dude in the way that he's doing things. So I think him and Jurassic Park, very good at choice. I just hope the studio, because he's been pushed, bumped around by a studio before.
Yeah.
Let's hope that he's able to kind of make the kind of movie he did with Creator. What do you guys think? Do you think that he's the right choice? Go ahead and comment. Tell me what you think. As I've been telling you guys, I have now officially lost 19 pounds.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Shit, yeah.
19 pounds. And I did it for a lot of different things, diet and everything too. But at nighttime, I need a snack. And my snack is Magic Spoon. And I love Magic Spoon. I've been telling you, everybody's telling me, you keep raving about it. Like, hey, you're damn right. Listen, why? Here you go. I'm so excited to have Magic Spoon back. So you guys have said it. You said it to me lately. You go, hey, you lost some weight, man. You're looking good. I've been trying. My New Year's resolution was to cut back on sugar, add protein to my diet, and I stay on track with my fitness goals. So I was excited to get Magic Spoon back on the rotation. Makes it easy, and it's more delicious than ever now. Growing up, I love cereal. And not even just growing up. Recently, I've been trying. I fire down sugary cereal for a snack, but the problem is when you get older, you got to watch out for those empty carbs because they add up. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors that you love, but it's got high protein and it's got less sugar. So for me, I did the protein shakes for a bit, but I wanted a delicious way to get my protein before and after workouts, and it's good for a snack. Variety pack, they have cocoa, they have fruity, they have frosted, they have peanut butter. I mix the peanut butter and the cocoa, personally. This pack has 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and about 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. There's only 140 calories per serving. High protein and 0 grams of sugar. It's amazing. So if you go to magicspoon.com/big thing, you can grab a variety pack and you can try it today. So be sure to use our promo code BIGTHING at checkout to save $5 on your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't like it, any reason, they're going to refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, start the new year off with a great, delicious bowl of high-protein cereal at magicspoon.com/bigthing and use the code BIGTHING to save $5 off. That's magicspoon.com/bigthing. All right, thank you to our friends over at Magic Spoon. I ain't lying. I love Magic Spoon. Peanut butter, chocolate, oof, so good. Love it. And it's a good treat. It's a really good treat and a good protein treat. It's good. I like it.
I should get that.
I
got in the bad habit of eating later.
Yeah.
I'm on my European time, I guess, now. And so I'm getting older, so I don't want to do that.
That's the trick. So when I was my buddy gave me like this diet that I was going on. He said, but the major trick is you can't, if you're gonna eat past 8 p.m., it's got to be protein. And so Magic Spoon, protein, baby.
Yeah,
protein.
I had
so you gotta
chicken
get some.
biryani last
really,
night.
really good. So
I
all right,
rather
before
that.
we move on here, guys, let's talk about some other stories. All right, Angela Basett did the thing. It is apparently Angela Basett met with Lucasfilm for a Star Wars role. This is what Miguel Fernandez, our buddy over at Star Wars Newsnet. Over the past couple of days, rumors have surfaced online concerning a possible meeting between Oscar-nominated actress Angela Basett and Lucasfilm. It's coming from a paywalled Patreon post by known insider Daniel Rickman, who says the two parties met to discuss a potential Star Wars role. No additional details were provided, so it's unknown if this is for a movie or a TV show. I can tell you right away what I think it is. Though Richmond's track record outside of Star Wars has been pretty solid recently, we're taking this as a rumor for now, but let's assume that it's true and try to figure out what projects she might be eyed for. At this stage, it makes sense for Lucasfilm to start kicking the tires on Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy's upcoming film. That's exactly what I thought. As the script is advancing well, it should be at a point where there might be comfortable meetings with actors for some roles. Since we know Daisy Ridley's Rey will be the anchor of the story, though not necessarily the main protagonist, we might have experienced some of the younger members of the cast, perhaps her apprentice in the new Jedi Order to come first, but it also makes sense to start building the cast from top billing actors down, and that could imply a part by Angela Basett. Another project about to enter pre-production is The Mandalorian and Grogu. But that feels like a project that will mostly involve characters from the Disney Plus 3 season series rather than a substantial new part, of which they might feel inclined to write a big check. Also, long shot possibility is Taika Waititi's project. Come on, Miguel. That ain't happening. Though the Jojo Rabbit filmmaker is knee-deep into Clara the Sun prep, perhaps Lucasfilm wants to attach someone. He's just putting all possibilities, but there's no way that happens. Another interesting possibility, Acolyte Season 2. We know that Leslie Headland's new series is coming out on Disney Plus this year, but when it's in post-production, her writer's room could have moved forward with Season 2. And last but not least, she might be the star of a whole new series. Right now, post Andor Season 2, the schedule's open. We know Ahsoka Season 2 is coming, but with Filoni, we might not get in, because he's busy, won't get something until 2026. Though the show has been delayed a number of times, there's a possibility it could be Skeleton Crew. What say you guys? Here, Angela Basett. I think if you're going to do an odds-on favorite, Steph, I'll start with you. If you're going to Vegas, and I'm going to give you money to bet on, I'll give you $1,000 to go bet on which role, where are you putting that $1,000?
I think the second season of what's the
Acolyte?
Of Acolyte. The
Wow.
second season of Acolyte.
I think you'd lose $1,000.
Because you think
I'm
they're
never going to
Chinoy.
Vegas with you. Holy Christ, Steph.
Where are you going? $1,000. Where are you putting the money?
Well, first of all, the Ray movie.
Yeah.
But I'm going to throw
I
a
didn't
side
want
bet
to
on
go
there.
with the easy choice, you
Well, I
guys.
just told you how you're going to win $1,000.
You can't play Vegas that way.
I don't bet.
Yeah. Well,
I don't
clearly.
gamble.
Clearly.
I'm the saint. Clearly.
Clearly.
Listen, we can't be perfect.
Someone would argue the opposite, that because you're not a degenerate like the two of us, that you probably are.
You loser.
You're not losing all your money.
No, yeah,
but,
it's the movie. It's Angela Bassett.
Angela Basett, you would assume the movie, but look, I think the Acolyte call is a great call if you can get her. In
I would
season
just
two,
I really answered of what I would like to see her
Sure.
in more better. I think if they do that show show as well as I hope they do, like this darker tone show, she could just bring so much levity to it. But they already have an insane cast for it.
They do. Mike, so what are your thoughts on why the Ray movie?
It just makes sense.
Because it's a movie.
It's a movie. It's Angela Basett. Like, hold on a second. We're talking Acolyte 2 already? I haven't seen a damn single frame of Acolyte 1. Shut the up. Like, that's what I'm talking about, Star Wars.
Well, no. He didn't.
I know he didn't say it, but
he did.
The fact that Star Wars is the people involved are trying to talk.
No, they didn't say that. Miguel was just saying it's possible that you could do season 2. You just told our buddy Miguel to shut the F up.
No. Is it in the halls of Star Wars? Are they talking Acolyte 2 already?
Mike thinks that he was reporting on the fact that Star Wars is talking about that.
They're just saying because they're already kind of gearing up and that they feel real good about it.
Who feels real good?
Probably Lucasfilm.
So have
there's
so
been
he's
no
speculating.
official. There's no official announcement.
Oh, come on now. That's you're putting that out in the ether. Can't be doing that.
Okay. Well, I'll set up a phone call with you.
Please do.
Okay.
No, we love Miguel.
I'm not.
You're a real nice guy.
No, you're going after the Star Wars machine.
Don't do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's definitely the movie, if anything, which would be great. I, like everyone else, most people in the world, am a huge Angela Basett fan.
Yeah. Angela Basett did the thing.
Oh, she did? Okay. I was like, I never saw the thing.
Have you never seen that clip?
Oh.
Angela Basett did the thing. You never saw that?
No. What clip?
Really? Ariana DeBose at the Oscars.
Yeah,
Angela Basett
did the thing. Yeah, and everyone's like, are you talking about what thing?
It was. It's like a viral moment.
Yeah, that was hysterical.
Angela Basett
but I think we overread that. She really meant like she is the it girl. She's done everything. She did the thing. Really not a high charting resume. It's just she did the thing.
Well, I will say that this is a take it to the bank, throw down $3,000 that it's going to be the Ray movie, because we're getting to a place. I couldn't agree with Miguel more. You already have a stacked cast for this whole Mandalorian universe. You're pulling from 3 different shows. You got Rosario Dawson will probably be in it. You got all this big time. You don't put any more money into that cast because you got a big cast.
Yes.
Already. This movie, the Ray movie, you're going to have to announce more cast, and you go, here's the big cast. Here's your the main Padawan or whatever is going to be so and so. Daisy Ridley, we know, is already in the movie, and now we can make the announcement that Academy Award nominee Angela Basett also in the film. You're like, boom, big cast for the Ray movie.
Right.
That's a guarantee. I think it's
Academy
like
Award nominee most recently for a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And so I think they see that and they're like, oh my gosh, she brought the house down in that performance.
She's nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the other thing I was going to ask is that with the Acolyte, going back to that, do you guys find, because it's a rumor that nobody really talks about it, but if you look for it, it's out there. Do you put any stock into this Keanu Reeves going to be in the Acolyte?
I was just thinking about that because between Keanu and Angela Basett, I'm like, that would be just so fun for me. Yeah, I think it's definitely.
You think he's going to play Revan?
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I don't know, but I would love that. Oh my gosh, you've aged a decade since we started this show.
Have I?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're just so stressed out about all the answers.
Yeah.
I'm not stressed out.
Do you think Keanu's going to be in this one? Acolyte?
I didn't even know there were rumors of that.
Rumors that he was going to be in potentially Revan, which I think would be great.
Where do these rumors come from? Where do they come from?
Some good. A lot of times right now it's been Jeff Snyder, although I don't think that was it. I don't think it was a Snyder one. I should ask Jeff Snyder. Hey Siri, text Jeff Snyder.
I'm going to tell you.
Hold on.
Oh, you're being serious here.
Yo, come on. I forgot to ask you this. Period. Do you think that Keanu Reeves is going to be in the Acolyte? ? I heard that there was going to be this rumor. Period. If your person knows of that, I'd love to get that scoop.
All right, can I talk now?
Go ahead, Jimmy.
It's how things like this work. Because I was on the other day scrolling through some sites I go through, and here it is, almost official.
Pornhub.
Andy Muschietti out of Batman: Brave and the Bold.
Oh, right.
John Roca, Outlaw Podcast. I'm like, oh.
Oh, right. I saw that.
So I talked to my friends, the Geek Buddies, like, hey, man, Roca knows stuff. And they're like, no, he would have told us in our group chat if he knew about this. I go, so then why are sites saying that John Roca...
He did say that, though. I saw.
But then it comes out, then Snyder's going, no, he's not. Right. So that's where these things blow the fuck up because everyone wants and he's friends of ours, but they clicks like... Keanu Reeves? Has anyone seen him at Lucasfilm? Has anyone seen him down at Santa Clarita filming? No.
You're not wrong.
Holy shit.
There are a lot of times, sometimes when people will these
For no
rumors come
fucking
out-
reason.
Well, it's not for no reason.
And Keanu Reeves is like, no,
not for
man,
no
I
reason.
want to film Constantine too. I've been talking to James Gunn. He's talking to me about Constantine. That's been said because he loves Constantine, wants to go back. James Gunn has said, maybe, the Constantine group. So that's a rumor that goes, but no one, why? Because he's a cool action hero that's got this kind of dark personality, would play Revan?
No, the rumor.
That's what just fitting in there?
I think the rumor was because it was supposed to come out a bit. The rumors were that they did some reshoots, they added budget, they added some talent, and one of the talent that they added was Keanu Reeves.
Who said that though? Where's the rumors come from? Are we just
You can Google it from your phone.
shooting the ether out there? Like I heard sources.
I don't know how true it is. It's not, but like I said, it's one of those things that didn't have enough traction to where you didn't even know about.
I'm going
right?
to give you a little traction right
Go
now
ahead,
for this
Ralph.
podcast.
Go ahead, Billy. Thanks,
Here's
Josh.
where things happen where people say sources.
All right, Josh.
Sydney, what's her name? Sweeney?
Yeah.
What's her name?
You
Sydney
just said
Sweeney.
it.
Yeah.
Literally just said it.
Said she was a tour guide at Universal Studios. Remember that whole hubbub
Yeah,
that
she
she
was.
said? She went on the air saying, I was a tour guide. I still am a tour guide for all that time.
Sure.
She was never there.
Not at Universal Florida.
Never there.
Not at
Universal
Florida.
Hollywood.
Yeah, but at Florida. Did she say Hollywood?
It was in Hollywood. The studio tour, she said she did. The studio tour.
But she said the one in Hollywood.
That's what she did. The studio tour here.
Okay,
Yes.
but how do you know
Yes.
she wasn't Florida?
Because there is no studio tour in Hollywood.
There's no-
Florida.
in Florida. you mean.
In Florida.
Right.
It's here.
But you said Hollywood.
Shut up. You know what I mean? So then I have friends that still work for the company. They went through all the records, never found anything.
Maybe she had a pseudonym.
So hold on. So Hollywood Report and stuff, they try and back her up. And they said, well, we have sources that said that she was there and she trained for the first day and dropped out. And then they kind of put this TikToker that's a studio tour guide. They kind of railroaded him, trying to make him look bad. And everyone came forward, like, well, what are your sources? What are your sources? And they wouldn't come forward because there are no sources. People say, I got my sources. I checked my sources because it lets a blanket to cover their lie. Well, I can't give up my source. Deep Throat, my source. I can't give them up like Watergate.
Yeah.
No, it's a bullshit idea that all of us in this circle, they like to fall back at my sources. Well, back up with receipts. Where do they come from? These rumors, bullshit. Like, I saw Keanu Reeves, my sources.
You know,
Well,
what you're doing right now?
What am I doing?
You're taking a stance, Mike.
I am. I am. It's my soapbox.
Taking a stance. I like
My
it.
soapbox. So no, right here, Big Thing Podcast, Sydney Sweeney, never Universal Studios tour guide. I've got the facts from the people in the company that worked there that could have had there.
Okay,
she
so-
could have gone through the orientation, which she said
I did.
that's different.
Yeah.
Because you make it through and there's like 3
Are you
stages.
going to tell me Justine Marino never worked there?
And she sure did.
Okay.
She was one of my trainers.
Okay.
100%.
All right. So don't test me on my
I don't know.
tour guides.
Yeah. Many a famous tour guide have come through, but not Sydney
Justin
Sweeney.
Marino, good friend of the show. All right, look, we had a good conversation here, guys, about a lot of different things. So thank you for joining us. As I said, if you can support the show and you have the means to do it, please consider one of our wonderful sponsors. I'd like to thank both Steph and Mike. Start with Steph.
Hi. Follow me at Steph's Around the World Girls, 6 p.m. PT Wednesdays.
Okay, Lewis.
You got me hot today. You guys got me really
We didn't do
worked
anything.
up today.
No, you just
I
talked.
didn't want to start my day like this.
Well,
This is starting my day.
It's your own fault. You're bringing up Sydney Sweeney tour guide, and it's your own fault.
I'm trying to get you clicks on get you up to 200,000.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
That'll
That's
do
going to
it.
happen.
Sure. Probably never get her on the show ever again.
Well,
Yeah.
we could talk about the studio
You
tour
loved
then.
the movie she was just in.
Madam Web?
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see the rom-com?
No, I just know it did
Oh,
well.
she was the main.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. She
with
was
He
Black-
didn't even know that.
no, she was also in Madam Web.
Oh, I know.
Oh, we know that.
But
'cause all those
she's
actors thought they were in the
great
MCU.
Good
She's
that-
great in the
that movie.
rom-com.
Okay. All right. Well, it was a heated conversation. What do you guys think? Put it all in there. Let us know. We'll see you guys tomorrow with Roxy and Brett. They're back. All right. Peace out. Great.